Hello, everyone. It is Wednesday, first day of spring. We were just all talking that we're so excited. Spring is finally here in Illinois. So let's start. Does anybody have any victories they'd like to share? Chrissy, I'll call you out on a victory just for taking charge of something for me.
Oh, for the signing the team up for the 5K?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
Okay. Julie?
I don't think I have a personal victory. Got my taxes done.
Yay!
Okay.
So,
the 2-day cleanse.
14th.
Awesome. We're cleansing today and tomorrow. So
Yeah.
let's touch on taxes briefly, because I used to train on this a lot, and I haven't done it for probably a year or two, is that hopefully all you leaders are keeping track of receipts and things like mileage. So anytime you drive to a meeting or an event or meet somebody one-on-one, keep track of your mileage. And I'll just kind of briefly, I'm going to look over here because that's where our categories are. Categories we have is we have travel. So under travel are things like hotel, parking, and those are for going to events, big and small. We have things like postage. So if you have to mail something to somebody. We have business or like office expenses. Those would be things like your printers, your paper, your pens, highlighters, anything in the office that you use. And then we also have leadership. So if you find that you're giving leadership gifts, or you have a challenge and you're offering it up to the team and you're rewarding for the challenge, those go up under leadership. Party supplies, if you host a sip and sample or host a leadership training, and whether it's you're serving food or making copies, that goes in there as well. Legal and professional, if you pay for an accountant, if you pay for a tax person, if you pay for an attorney, like all those go in there as well. Memberships, if you join, and memberships can be your Isagenix membership, and joining a network group, or even subscriptions to magazines, like I get Success Magazine. So if you guys, don't know that, there are tax benefits with owning a business, and those are some of the categories that you can use. And then if you have questions on categories, you can either give us a holler or contact an accountant, or we have an accountant we can get you in touch with. But, as we're approaching tax season, just know that you get all those write-offs. So be sure and keep receipts. Okay, so I have 3 topics I want to chat about. The first one is mindset. And, I think we all talk about that this is personal growth with a paycheck, but I want to make sure that we as leaders are really focusing on growing our mindset. And I know I'll do really good for a while, and then I'll go down this deep, dark bunny trail where I'm not in a good mindset, and I actually let fear creep in or frustration creep in. And so I kind of wanted to open it up to you guys. How do you build into your mindset? How are you coaching your team to build into your mindset? And just kind of hear any suggestions or what you guys do.
Well, a big one for me was Healthy Mind and Body on Isagenix website. And I feel like I'm going to need to do that again, because I kind of went, like you said, go down that dark hole. And I was like, I've just been there. And it's hard to pull and a lot of factors go into, knowing I had to do my taxes, and which I do it this year. I had to do it for 4 businesses. So it's so it just overwhelms me, so that kind of really throws me off track. And I know it's coming every year, but still.
Right.
So, just to build into, try not to go down that hole, is to just continue doing your mindset.
Right.
Like whether it's Bible studies or devotionals or doing the Healthy Mind and Body, which was huge for me. So I think I'm actually gonna do that again, because even though I learned a lot, you start to forget a lot. So, and I've recommended that to everybody who joins my team, because it's very crucial, I think. And you get your money back, so why not?
And I just said to Randy, I feel like I'm due again for doing one. And I always encourage at least once a year to do that. So I'm kind of right there with you on that one. And we'll talk about some other options too. How about you, Christy?
I suggest Healthy Mind and Body to everyone. I don't know that anybody on my team's done it, but I enjoyed doing it when I did it. And just keep positive.
Yeah. And so, I don't know if it's something where you guys want to personally challenge your team or we open it up as a big group team challenge, but I do find there's definite benefit in doing it. The other one I really like, now I know Susan Wheeler and Tyler and John Stankiewicz and Cindy do a lot with Growth U. And the Growth U is also a Rod Hairston program company, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know if you guys realize you can go on to growthu.com and they have free devotionals every day you can get. In fact, I need to go back and check that because I haven't seen one in a while. But then even in Growth U, they have other programs. And we've done some in the past and they're good. They're I'll say a little bit deeper than Healthy Mind and Body. And they typically are more well-rounded, where it's focused on your family, you as a mom, you as a person, versus just a wellness industry or a wellness journey. And they're pricier though. Those are usually going to be about $100 to do versus the 45. And they have all different time frames. Sometimes they're 30 days, sometimes they're 60 days. I was just going to go on real quickly. So Growth U has, I think it's on the very front page where you can just sign up for like getting their daily devotionals. So definitely check that out. I'm looking to see. That doesn't look, that's growth.com. I want growthu.com. Like, that's not the right website. There it is. So when you're on Growth U, it'll talk about programs, membership, daily growth. That's one I'm looking for. Is I think the one where it just sends you like daily affirmations, daily mindsets every day. So that's a really good one. Of course, I'm a huge fan of podcasts, and even though I've never been a huge avid reader, I would say I've challenged myself more in the last 3 years than I have ever. And you guys know I love Chris Harder. Have you guys listened to the Chris Harder for the Love of Money where he interviews John Maxwell?
No.
It's really good. I'll put the episode on our team page, but it was interesting because he opens the talk with everything worthwhile is uphill. So if we put ourselves in that mindset, when you hit obstacles, when you feel yourself going down that deep hole, if you realize everything worthwhile is uphill, it kind of takes the pressure off of when I hit roadblocks or when things get tough. If you just accept it and anticipate it, it kind of puts you into a different mindset. And he talks about many different topics in this podcast. The other thing I loved, which really went along with the Super Saturday we went to, is he talks about instead of being goal-driven, being mission-driven. And so I immediately flashed on Angelique and, is that in your alignment? Does that fall under the umbrella? And then he talks about how do you find success? For him, success is defined about is he leaving, do the people who do his friends and family love and respect him? And he looks at significance versus success. Is he creating impact with other people? And then he talks about you can't expect to stay the same in a world that doesn't remain the same. So if you just automatically accept that you need to grow and you need to change, because the world is never going to stay in the same place, it makes it easier to kind of accept that change. So lots of messages in that one podcast, but I catch myself lately in that struggle of fear or struggle of stepping forward. And Randy's like, I think you need to do some more work on that. And so I just wanted to reach out to you guys to find out if that's something you're struggling with. And of course, books are great. So John Maxwell has a brand new book out called Leader Shift. Have you read it? Either of you read it yet?
No, but I heard about it.
Okay. I looked for to see if you could get it just audio, and they didn't have it. So I did order it today. So obviously books are always great. And, whether it's a book on personal growth, whether it's a book on network marketing, whether it's a Bible study, I think just continually building on yourself is going to only improve this journey. Do you guys have any other thoughts, comments, suggestions on that?
No, I think that's also, I think another thing is going to the meetings or going to the, whatever we have.
The events.
Yeah. Just, it helps build, and even if you're kind of going through your own little funk, it just helps to build into you and others as well. Because then you start hearing other people's situations and stories, and then you just feel fuller when you leave, So I think that's important too.
Mm-hmm. Christy, any thoughts?
I would agree. Going to the events definitely helps.
Okay, which you guys had a beautiful segue, because my topic number 2 was really about community. And I really want to build more as community. We kind of talked about this with, obviously, Christy setting up the team race, which thank you for doing that. That it was interesting. I met with somebody yesterday, and it was a very different one-on-one that I've had with somebody. And I came away and I told Randy, I felt so excited and so rejuvenated after doing this. It was the first time I've met somebody where we met before I sent them to Forever Pack. And, you hear Eric Worre and some of these people on stage talk about, you can pick who you want on your team. So pick people you really like, pick people with same values, people you want to grow with. And so there's this young girl, her name is Amanda. Hopefully you're going to see her on our team page soon. She used to work for Student Impact, which is the high school ministry at Willow, but she is a therapist by trade. And so it was funny because when I found out her background, my initial thought was, you're way overqualified to be on staff at Willow. Like, you could be practicing. So, and that's exactly what's happened, is she left the student ministries at Willow and she focuses on teens, and she's a therapist. And we've had her speak at Moms with Teens twice. She's fantastic, but she's young and she's hip and she's 29. And I had sent her a message, and I'm like, I was telling her how great she did at Moms with Teens. And I'm like, I'd really love to get to know you more and just meet for coffee. And so we met, took 4 reschedules, but we finally met yesterday. And, I just kind of sat back. I actually used her tattoos as the segue to start the conversation. I'm like, she has 3 of them on her arms. I'm like, okay, first I want to know about those. Tell me a little bit more about you. I had no idea before going that her body was a hot mess. She's young, she's tall, she's lean, she's beautiful. Looking at her, you have that no idea. And I was a little intimidated, I don't know if she'll even be interested in this, but I really like her. I want to ask her. So as we continued talking, and I brought nothing with me, no handouts, we just sat for coffee. And she was telling me how she got Lyme's. So everything happened in college when she was about 20, 21. She got Lyme's. She got this autoimmune disease with her thyroid. She literally went from being almost an Olympic athlete to paralyzed for a year. All of these ailments, she had to stop and take a year off of school. Had no idea. And then I did know she went to Loyola for her undergrad and Arizona for her master's. And she was telling me how she has a ton of student loan debt. And so I just let her talk. And then I kind of did I don't know if health and wellness are in your wheel of things you're interested in, or if you're looking for an additional stream of income to help with those student loans. I just kind of wanted to feel you out and see if either of these interest you. And that's when the floodgates opened about everything she's been through. And the thing that was so interesting hearing her, and again, I think it's part of that start group culture, she's like, I got to tell you, I watch your feed and I love the idea of your community. that you guys come together in community, you support each other. And she really kept coming back to community. And I was like, I think we need to focus more on that. And again, we're the ones who are showing up. You know, it's kind of that, I'm preaching to the choir here, but somehow getting more rallying around community. And I don't know what that looks like, if it's more serving together, if it's more team challenges, if it's more events. So I'm completely open to ideas, but it kind of, you know, re-brought that back to my head. And so we left the meeting and she's like, yeah, for sure. Send me the link. I'll watch them tonight. And we're supposed to catch back up tomorrow. But I was like, how can we work more on community? And I'm really also talking to the people who are watching the recording, and especially people like Dawn and Laura and Rhonda, where you live out of state. Like, I want you guys to have your local community stuff too. And it doesn't have to be the same stuff we're doing. It doesn't have to be a race. But I want to hear from you guys if you have any more ideas on how to build into our community.
Well, I like the serving idea, whether it's getting together to do a race or doing the, you know, food truck and things like that. I love doing that. And I may think the more often we do it, or the more we offer, the more people will have come together to do that. Yeah, I was thinking about the out-of-state people. It's kind of like they're going to have, other than doing online things, they're going to kind of have to come up with or find a community as well.
Right. And they can take the lead. Like, all three of them have a team, so they can take the lead and pull that together with ideas and do something specific to their area.
But maybe something other than doing a, you know, service project is like kind of getting together and doing like a healthy cooking class or something along those lines too, you know, where it's more, you know, just kind of getting together to goof off and have some fun and learn about
right.
food or something along those lines. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about.
That's a good idea.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything come to your mind, Christy?
I do like that idea. I like the fact that we're doing this 5K event together, doing things outside of just meeting for Isagenix meetings, I think would bring the community together more. Mm-hmm. I like the food idea. I don't know what else, or just like getting together just to go do something, go to a sporting event, or, you know, something outside of
go ahead, sorry,
meeting to talk about Isagenix, you know?
Right.
Well, there's a lot of those yoga in the park and things like that where we could go as a group to do that as well. Stuff like that.
Yeah, and I have to say, I'm really bad about thinking outside of business. So whether you guys want to help, you know, say, okay, I'll come up with a social, or remind me like, hey, don't forget, we want to do something fun as a team. Like, I get so focused on, you know, business that I forget. And so, you know, however you guys can help with that would be greatly appreciated. You know, if you know, like Julie, with you working, well, I don't know how often she's coming back into town now, but if you even wanted to throw together one of those painting on canvas with wine kind of things at your sister-in-law's place, or another thought I had, and I just don't know, I got to find out if we can make it public knowledge, is we have a team member who I know is going to undergo surgery next month. Like, even just throwing out hey, can we come together and everybody bring a meal for her, you know, kind of thing. Something super simple like that. I think also bring some of that team culture back together. But yeah, I'm looking for, I guess, everybody. I don't want to feel like I always have to be in charge of things or always be in the lead. So the more we have other leaders, and even beyond you guys, like, this is where I think as a leader, you guys can take that posture of, if you have somebody who's really social and has, well, let me just use the idea like Sam. If Sam came up with something really fun to do, like, hey, let's put him in charge, or, you know, this is where we can empower our people to stand up and come up with ideas or stand in leadership. So it doesn't have to be me. It doesn't have to be you guys. I think this is where we help grow their leadership skills and grow the community as a whole. So think on it, and let's kind of touch base back with it, I'll check with the girl to see if she's open to us bringing meals to her. And if so, I'll kind of make a thing on that. I don't know that I want to do it on Isajourney. I may just send out messages to people. And
there's a website called Meal Train. And so you can just add emails and people to that. Marcy uses that when moms have babies in the church and we bring meals to them. So then you just sign up and you put their specific needs, or if they're allergic to stuff and all this and that, and what they like and what they don't like. And then you just sign up and you email it to everybody you want to sign up. And then they can fill in whenever they can bring a meal and whatever they're going to bring.
Okay. So we'll see if she's open to that idea. Okay, so that was my second one. Where did I put my notes? Was on community. And then the third one, and I'm just, because so much is always going on, I can't even remember if I talked to you guys about it yet. Did we talk about the influencers? This being like a new recognition, new kind of thing that Cindy is starting.
Maybe. I'm not, you know what? I didn't get on the call last week, so I don't know.
I don't think so.
Okay, so they got this idea, I think really from, I'll call it Eric Worre, and they're kind of building on it with this whole Own Your Life page. And I'm looking to see, Cindy did a post about it, and I think I did a post in Shooting Stars about it. So let me pull it up there and I'll see if I can find it there quicker. But basically the idea is you become an influencer when you have enrolled 10 people and have promoted 2 consultants. And then then you're invited into the influencer club, if you will. So I did a post on March 12th in Shooting Stars, and it says, and I literally copied this from Cindy's page, ready to unveil the Own Your Life influencer. Who wants to be an Own Your Life influencer? What does it mean? For those of you who have enrolled 10 people and created 2 consultants since December 31st, you are an influencer. What do you get for this achievement? Well, besides the income it will provide you with, the growth it will provide your team, the momentum you generate, and you'll get some special recognition. And I know part of that special recognition is going to be, they actually have, with that new graphic arts that are in the back office now, they have an influencer graphics that it would be recognition on the team pages, on your own personal profile page. I know at Celebration, she's going to do a recognition for anybody who's hit influencer as well. So it's just another way to bring to mind. That's kind of the goal is, if we all work on at least 10 enrollments and 2 leaders, I mean, we want more than that, but if we keep doing that and repeating it, and then teaching our team and encouraging, showing our team how to be influencers, it's going to basically be a new recognition. I mean, it's a lot of the same stuff we're doing, but it's a new recognition and new excitement around it. Now, I think there's also going to be a separate training around it. And I think what they're going to do is that Own Your Life Academy. I don't know if the Own Your Life Academy.biz is before or after you become the influencer, that I need to check with Lori and kind of hone in on that exactly. And I wasn't on the mastermind call Monday, so I actually need to go back and see what I missed this week from Monday. But I just wanted to bring to your attention that, one, we have this new recognition, and to share it with your team. We want not just us to be influencers, we want them to be influencers, which always comes back to the daily actions and, sharing and creating consultants. Any thoughts, excitement around the Own Your Life influencer?
No, I saw some stuff on it. I did see, and I've seen that graphic you're talking about too. So
okay,
I just kind of thought of it as an add-on to what we've already been doing.
Right. And I think it's another nice pat on the back, and hey, you're working and you're influencing people. So, it's a little extra kudos.
Right.
So latest word, and I'm going to read it. I have a thread of Lisa and Lori and Randy and Kelly and I from Forever Pack. So Lisa said, Isogenesis update. Unfortunately, we've depleted inventory levels in the US and are now on back orders. We expect to fill these orders by the week of 3/25. All complete essentials with Isogenesis and Isogenesis 120 count are expected to be in full stock mid-April. And so now what happens is even if you enroll somebody on a value pack or one of the packs that comes with the vitamins with the Ageless Essentials, they're going to get a slip saying it's on back order. So at this point, we're better to go back to 4 shakes, you know, as far as doing that. And how are you doing as far as sharing the Forever Pack information with your team? Do they have any new excitement around it? Are they liking the idea?
Yeah, Debbie's using it, using the Forever Pack to talk to people. So she's excited about that. Really haven't had anybody else take advantage of more information about it. So.
And where's Taylor at these days on her decision?
Well, if I could get her to just take care of herself, we might be a little bit closer.
Okay.
Working on her still.
Okay. Christy, any excitement around the Forever Pack with your people?
I've shared it all with them. But I do know, you know, I enrolled 2 people last week and Gary was one of them. He got vitamins.
Yeah, I think they went through that week and now they're out.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. And what was I going to say? Oh, so for the meeting, so I said to Randy, I was really torn with, I feel like we have not done a leader breakfast in forever. And I almost threw it on a Saturday, but with spring sports starting, I'm like, yeah, no, we're not going to do a Saturday. So then, Julie, I remembered you and I were talking that some of our best party dates back when we did Tastefully Simple were Monday nights. So I decided, can't do it during spring break because we'll lose too many people over spring break. So where I'm doing it right after spring break. So April 1st is going to be the next team meeting. And it is going to be a lot of leader focus, that even though we've sent an email out and we have talked to some people one-on-one about the Forever Pack, I want us to come back and talk about it. I'm toying with the idea of just showing the first half of the Forever Pack video about the isogenesis, since I think all of us realize the power of the shakes. I still think there's a lot of team members out there who don't realize what isogenesis is and how powerful it is. And knowing we're going to be that much closer to it coming back in stock at that point. And then I think I may even show the first couple minutes of the power of 2, because, and you know, I don't think we need to get to the power of 5. You get the idea after you see the power of 2. Yeah. And then have us who are using this playbook, and I'm really debating whether it would be worth my time and money or not to actually go and print some playbooks.
I wouldn't do it.
How come?
They'll print their own.
Okay.
I'd say I just printed my own.
Okay, good. So, you know, maybe we'll put the whole, you know, here, I'll bring it up on the team page again. Here's where you go to get it.
Right, yeah.
But I think the more we can talk about, like, how we're enjoying the 3-way calls, how we love having a script, how much simpler this is. And again, I'll bring up, you know, we've had situations, and this is so ironic, Christy, with your girl, or it was a girl, I think, who you signed up saying, you know, I want the value pack. Randy's talking with somebody who we talked to like 9 months ago, and he, I think, is going to come out of value pack, even though the trigger to get him to talk again was the Forever Pack video. Randy kind of just came back and said, where are you guys? Why now? And he's like, we've been trying to do it, you know, the old fashioned way for 9 months now and getting nowhere. So it'll be interesting to see which pack he comes in, because we basically went all the way from the Ultimate Pack down to the Forever Pack and said, we'll meet you where you are. This is just a new philosophy we've taken, you know. So I still want to bring it to people's attention. There's no wrong way. And if you want to still do the other packs, but the simplicity of this with the scripting, with the 3-way call, with the videos. So I don't know if people are tired of hearing about the Forever Pack. I don't personally think there's enough excitement or momentum around it. So that's what we're going to gear the meeting towards.
I think part of it is like, if it's not in front of their face, like at a meeting, they kind of are like, oh, I'll get back to it. And then they don't, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They know what they know, and they're fine with that. And then, why try something new if what they're doing is working? But to have another option, if you have it in front of them, like at a meeting, then they're like, aha, now I get it. Kind of.
Right. And I think we've all seen how even some people, all three of us, when we saw the initial video, we're like, well, this will be great, but I'm not going to lead with it until you saw the Jill Birth video. And I'm clearly not going to show the Jill Birth video, but I think as we talk about it, the importance of investing the time to watch that video to get the full picture is part of the conversation as well. Because I can tell from responses I'm getting who's watched the video and who hasn't.
Right.
So yes, we are going to talk Forever Pack. And I don't really want to tell them we're talking Forever Pack. I want to focus on gathering and getting team culture.
Yeah.
And obviously we're going to promote the race coming up since that's in the same month. Julie, did you say you were or weren't going to be able to do the race?
I probably can't do it since the Sunday after Easter and I need to be at church.
Oh, bummer.
Yeah. Because even so, I still wouldn't get to church early enough to do all the things that I need to do.
Okay.
Because we're doing like a major campaign drive for Easter Sunday, and people come back the next week. We need to be prepared for that. So,
right.
Yeah, I was looking at that thinking it's a little tight for me.
Okay. And
you really run anyway.
Oh, that's true. I forgot you're injured. But definitely, I want to get some momentum and hopefully get more people, participating in it. The weight loss challenge, just so you guys know for an update, I had said we had to have 20 people. We ended up at like 15, so we still never hit the 20. And they will for sure get recognition. And I'm toying with, like last time we did this, I ended up giving shaker bottles to the top 3 people just as a congratulations since I wasn't rewarding cash. But I almost feel like I need to make a hard stance of, hey, I'm not going to keep giving stuff away if you guys don't reach the goal. And the goal was to have 20 people to participate. And with a team of hundreds, it should be a laydown to get 20 people to participate.
Right.
So I will for sure recognize the top 3 winners. I just haven't decided what we're doing beyond that, if anything.
You could just print out a certificate and mail it to them.
Exactly. And so, so just kind of keep promoting it, and obviously we'll try again. But I think things like that, that's where that team culture, and I even did a post early on, like tagging the people that are in it in case they wanted to have like a contest with somebody or a goal buddy with somebody.
Right.
And, nobody kind of jumped on that either. And I will talk about that a little bit because the team meeting is on the last day, so results won't be posted, but I'll talk about that community of coming together and were you guys cheering each other on, kind of thing.
Right.
So those were really my big topics was mindset, team culture, and influencers to make sure those are staying on our forefront. Anything you guys have before our time is up in the next 6 minutes?
No, I don't have anything else to add. I'm just going to get my ass in gear.
Well, like we said, keep doing the do, every day. And I know Val made a comment when she saw Randy in Ohio a couple weeks ago that she said, when Randy made the comment of how many people he was first contacting when the Forever Pack first came out, because he just went back to an old list from years ago and reached out to like 80, 100 people on the spot, it hit home with her like, oh my gosh, I've only reached out to like 15 people. Right. That we need to think bigger and keep connecting every day. And that's where, the magic is going to happen. So hopefully we can get a big presence at the April 1st team meeting and at the race. And then, let's keep encouraging each other. And I'll think about whether we should do, and maybe I'm not going to give anything away, but just do a huge team push about having people do Healthy Mind and Body.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't give anything away. They get it back.
They get $5 back. So yeah, we'll kind of come up with some kind of campaign of, spring mindset and being in the right place, being comfortable in your own skin before summer hits. you know, kind of thing. Maybe take that kind of posture.
I agree.
All right. Well, happy spring and make it a great week. We will see you guys soon.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.